When we dream up alien invasions, we tend to imagine advanced civilizations with cunning tactics and overwhelming technology, poised to steamroll humanity in days. But if we look at popular science fiction, we see an odd pattern. Aliens often adopt the least effective strategies imaginable. It's as though some interstellar general was taking notes from Saturday morning cartoons instead of Sun Tzu. Today, we'll count down the 10 worst alien invasion strategies, drawing on classic films, TV shows, and books. Along the way, we'll explore why these approaches fail, not just for alien warlords, but for any would-be conqueror in our universe, blending a bit of science, history, and humor to see just how spectacularly these cosmic blunders stack up. The park and wait strategy, best known from Independence Day. Imagine you've crossed interstellar gulfs in colossal warships, ready to wipe out humanity. So, naturally, you hover ominously over every major city for hours. That's what the aliens do in Independence Day, drifting into position like sinister parade floats, letting humanity watch in terror and prepare. In real warfare, surprise is priceless. The most effective attacks come suddenly and simultaneously. Even massing forces openly can backfire if your intent isn't to intimidate, but to annihilate. Give your enemy time to brace themselves and they might scramble jets, bunker leaders, or in the movie's case, whip up a hilariously improbable computer virus to disable your ships. On Earth, modern militaries train for rapid deployment because delays let defenders entrench. A serious alien invasion would likely be shock and awe on steroids, orbital kinetic strikes, infrastructure sabotage, or grey goo nanoplagues, all unleashed at once. Hovering over landmarks just to look menacing? That's the sort of mistake you make when your real mission is to set up a Will Smith one-liner.
Welcome to Earth.
Invading a planet that can kill you. Best known from Signs and War of the Worlds. In Signs, aliens invade Earth only to discover water burns them like acid. Given the water is one of the most abundant substances in the universe, you'd assume they'd have known this. In fact, in our earlier episode on dumbest alien invasions, where we tackle the worst reasons to invade, we point out how many times aliens come for Earth's water, where there are vast stockpiles floating in comets and ice belts, far easier to access. Conquering Earth for water is like the Wicked Witch of the West invading SeaWorld. Meanwhile, in H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, Martians land with overwhelming technology, only to be slain by Earth's humble microbes, not by tanks or nukes, but by bacteria that we swallow daily without a thought. Ecologically, invasive species thrive when they're generalists or lack predators, but an alien organism faces immune nightmares on Earth. There are more bacteria in your mouth right now than there are humans on the entire planet. A single sneeze could be an interstellar bioweapon. If you want a deeper dive into why alien food, or alien beer, could be fatal, see our episode, Alien Beer is to Die For. If water weren't toxic, high humidity might still wreak havoc on their physiology. Any real planetary conquest would start with drones and lab samples long before boots or tentacles touched down. Imagine being the alien general forced to tell your emperor that your grand conquest ended because you tried to take over the galaxy's radioactive waste dump. Lesson for would-be conquerors: understand the biosphere before you wade in, otherwise you might conquer Earth only to be conquered by a puddle. Number 8. Using Earth's resources against them. Examples: Independence Day Resurgence, Oblivion, and countless dystopias. As mentioned, sometimes aliens decide the best way to conquer Earth is to steal our planet's own resources to fuel the conquest in real time, often with technology that drills into the core, sucks up oceans, or cannibalizes our biosphere. We see this in Oblivion, where an alien machine uses Earth's water to power itself while sending drone patrols to mop up humans, or in Independence Day Resurgence, where the aliens show up explicitly to mine Earth's molten core. At first glance, it sounds efficient. Use local fuel instead of hauling across light years, but it's also strategically reckless. If you're literally cracking the planet open or draining vital systems, you're creating global instability that can sabotage your own occupation. Collapse the core or trash the atmosphere too soon, and you may win the battle, but inherit a barren wasteland. You might also ask why you're attacking one inhabited planet when untold trillions of planets and planetoids out there possess the material resource you want. More importantly, using local infrastructure ties your invasion fate to an alien ecosystem you barely understand. If something goes wrong, you're stuck scrambling for solutions on a planet that now hates you both ecologically and militarily. Lessons for aspiring interstellar locusts. You can't plunder Earth's candy store while setting it on fire. Extract resources after you've secured the planet, or you might find your own victory collapsing into a smoking ruin. Number 7. Telegraphing your arrival, seen in V and Mars Attacks. Nothing screams inept conquest like flying giant ships into orbit, parking over major cities, and giving humanity days to panic, plan, and probe for weakness. At least in Independence Day, the ships gave only hours of warning and did it to coordinate simultaneous strikes. In V, the visitors arrive in broad daylight, broadcast from megascreens, and proceed slowly with their takeover. In Mars Attacks, the Martians arrange elaborate diplomatic meetings, complete with translators, before revealing it was always a trap. This means every civilian with a phone captures high-res footage, every scientist starts analyzing you, and every general has time to position forces, safeguard leaders, and ready counterattacks. Real invasions hinge on secrecy and speed. Even on Earth, stealth approaches are favored because any delay lets defenders dig in. From an astrophysics angle, a decelerating spaceship is vastly more visible than one cruising quietly through deep space. If you were planning a surprise assault, you'd arrive on stealth trajectories, drop kinetic bombardment simultaneously around the globe, and then decelerate leisurely afterward. Or you'd stage at the dark side of the moon or a convenient L3 Lagrange point. Unless your goal is intimidation, to scare humans into surrender, all those banners and speeches are not a strategy, they're pageantry. Great for box office visuals, catastrophic for conquest. Number 6. Overly convoluted takeovers, exemplified in They Live. Some alien invaders skip fleets and go straight for infiltration. Sounds smart, until you see how absurdly complex they make it. In They Live, aliens secretly run Earth through hidden transmissions, subliminal ads, disguised elites, and bizarre tech that can be exposed by cheap sunglasses. Every extra layer adds points of failure. As the old mafia line goes, 3 people can keep a secret if 2 are dead. Earth's own intelligence agencies struggle with secrecy even under rigorous screening. A global alien occupation with mind-control billboards and human collaborators, practically begging for whistleblowers. It's a flaw we've noted often in alien conspiracy theories or Fermi paradox speculations. If you're abducting thousands of humans to study DNA, why not just steal a vending machine or mailbox? Covered in diverse genetic material, no hypnosis required. Historically, successful occupations are simpler. Install puppet rulers, post garrisons, control vital resources. Even Roman governors didn't need subliminal arrays, just taxes, local elites, and well-fed legions. If you are advanced enough for total mimetic manipulation, why even keep humans around? Terraform the planet or automate it. Micromanaging Earth's stock market while risking discovery by a guy like Roddy Piper stumbling into a pawn shop. That's not alien cunning, that's cosmic bureaucracy. Though that's an interesting topic too, see our Cosmic Capitals episode for more discussion. Number 5. Broadcasting your weakness. Best known for Mars Attacks. The Martians in Mars Attacks might be the gold standard for incompetent invaders. They show up with fanfare, broadcast their presence, set up meetings with global leaders, and ultimately reveal themselves to be so vulnerable that a yodel-heavy country song literally makes their heads explode. It's a satire, but it highlights a real strategic flaw. You never reveal yourself to a new biosphere without extensive quarantine. Earth scientists have strict containment even for Earth-based microbes. You don't walk into a level 4 biolab en masse, yet the Martians show up without so much as a helmet filter. It's also a reminder from astrobiology. Life evolves under wildly specific local conditions. Earth's ecosystem is full of alkaloids, pheromones, and ultrasonic signals, and alien physiology might be undone by any number of accidental triggers. The Slim Whitman defense is ridiculous, but illustrates how foreign biochemistry could be stunningly fragile. Fiction is full of improbable weaknesses, but vampires should not invade garlic farms nor werewolves silver mines. Then we have Superman's issue with home planet rocks and Green Lantern's absurd vulnerability to the color yellow. But if you're planning planetary conquest, maybe keep the helmet on and the radio off until you're sure Slim Whitman won't obliterate your entire species. Number 4. Playing fair and ritual combat. best known from Predator, Star Trek Arena, and Star Wars novels. Some aliens don't come to conquer, they come to hunt or duel, guided by ritual codes of honor. The Predator films give us aliens who deliberately limit their gear, avoid unarmed targets, and insist on one-on-one challenges. Star Trek's Gorn challenged Captain Kirk to a Stone Age wrestling match. In Star Wars Darth Plagueis, we see Sith intentionally visiting primitive worlds for ritual combat, them versus thousands, something the Darwinian Darth Plagueis tells his apprentice Palpatine has been going on for generations and which he regards as payment to the civilization, making them stronger. It makes for fantastic drama about culture and ego, but from a strategic standpoint, it's hilariously reckless. The Predator ends up outwitted by a mud-caked Arnold Schwarzenegger precisely because he opted for sport over overwhelming force. War is not the Olympics. In human history, ritual combat sometimes settles disputes to avoid mass bloodshed, but once armies clash, it's logistics that win, not glory. For an advanced species to gamble their objectives on personal duels, that's tradition trumping tactics, fun for storylines, catastrophic for empire building. And then there's the biohazard angle. Any species that repeatedly visits Earth to hunt risks introducing foreign microbes or picking up dangerous pathogens. Even 21st century big game hunters have caught nasty viruses from prey. Imagine interstellar zoonosis, with galactic pandemics spread by hobbyists looking for trophy skulls. So, by all means, aliens, keep it sporting. Just don't be shocked when your prey turns the tables and mount your head on the wall. Number 3. Overconfidence and underestimating the locals. Various sci-fi including War of the Worlds, Independence Day, Predator, and more. Conquerors through history often lose not because of weak armies, but because they underestimate their opponents. In sci-fi invasions, aliens repeatedly swagger into Earth expecting terrified primitives, only to meet guerrilla warfare, clever improvisation, or local hazards that shred their plans. It's the same lesson Napoleon and Hitler learned in Russia. Contempt for backward adversaries blinds you to logistics, weather, and morale. In War of the Worlds, Martians show up with unstoppable tripods, yet completely overlook Earth's microbes. In Predator, an advanced hunter gets outwitted by one man with mud and a handmade trap. Even in Independence Day, alien arrogance allows a last-ditch human hacker ploy to crash their entire fleet. Any real planetary assault would start by assuming the locals were more dangerous than they looked. Because if they survived billions of years of evolution here, they are probably tougher, nastier, and more cunning than an orbital bureaucrat expects. Lesson for would-be invaders: never underestimate an ape with a toolkit and a grudge. Number 2. Single points of failure in hive minds. From Avengers, Phantom Menace, Ender's Game, Starship Troopers, StarCraft, and many more. It's astonishing how many fictional alien armies boil down to kill the queen, win the war. From massive control ships to literal hive minds, these invasions collapse instantly when a single node is destroyed. In the Avengers, blowing up the alien mothership and its connection drops every soldier like cut puppets. In The Phantom Menace, one well-placed shot shuts down an entire droid army. Starship Troopers, the film not the movie, leans into this with brain bugs, while StarCraft dramatizes it with overminds directing Zerg swarms and having local control node creatures, something we also see with the Tyranids of Warhammer 40,000. Perhaps the most entertaining example is Ender's Game. The Formix first lost an invasion fleet by putting their Hive Queen aboard the flagship, and after learning that hard lesson, they retreat all their queens back to one homeworld, even though they have hundreds of planets and they know humanity has planet-killer weapons. That's not an adaptation, that's painting a giant target on your evolutionary future. The author eventually retconned them as basically being suicidal, but he retconned their behavior and motives more than once in later novels. On Earth, even ants keep functioning if their queen dies, worker instincts persist, new queens may be nurtured. Any advanced species would build redundancy into control structures, with decentralized command and local autonomy. The fact that so many fictional aliens don't is less Sun Tzu and more Saturday morning cartoon logic. So whether it's an empire, a neural network, or a swarm of starships, don't gamble it all on one fragile node. Because humans are very good at finding the one glowing weak spot and putting a missile through it. Number 1. Failing to finish the job. From countless sci-fi stories. The ultimate invasion mistake isn't just tactical errors, it's stopping short of total victory. Again and again in science fiction, aliens gain overwhelming advantages only to squander them by holding back, retreating too early, or assuming humanity is finished after one big blow. Unless you're trying to preserve the alien species or biosphere, your attack should begin unexpectedly with orbital bombardment and not into the planet as a molten desert that glows in the dark, and even then you should send in the murder drones to hunt for bunkers. Real conquest isn't about the flashy opening attack, it's about crushing every potential threat, securing supply chains, and making sure no guerrilla or pandemic can rise to topple you later. Empires that stop at symbolic victories or underestimate local resilience often face bloody uprisings and catastrophic returns. Whether you're an alien warlord or a terrestrial general, history's clearest lesson is simple. If you start a war, you better have the stomach and planning to finish it. So those are our top 10 worst alien invasion strategies. A cautionary list not just for hypothetical galactic overlords, but for any civilization that thinks conquest is easy, because in the end, if your plan relies on theatrical hovering, fragile hive brains, or hunting trips for sport, you might just find that humanity is tougher, trickier, and more microbially lethal than you ever imagined. Needless to say, and because it's always fun to speculate, we'll keep pondering how alien wars might actually work in the universe, even though I tend to doubt any exist in this galaxy, for what I hope are good logical and scientific reasons we've looked at elsewhere, in both more tongue-in-cheek episodes like this and serious episodes. If you'd like more on that, check out our episodes on interstellar warfare, planetary defense, and the Fermi paradox. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a great week.